Okay, gentlemen's time has expired.
Thank you very much. My time has expired and I yield back.
Chair now recognizes Chair Schakowsky, Chair of the Subcommittee on Consumer Protection and Commerce, for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Mr. Zuckerberg, immediately after the Capitol insurgency, Sheryl Sandberg did an interview in which she insisted that the siege was largely planned on smaller platforms, but court filings actually show something quite the opposite, that the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers used Facebook to coordinate in real time during the siege. And so my question for you is, will you admit today that Facebook groups in particular played a role in fomenting the extremism that we saw and that led to the Capitol siege?
Congresswoman, thanks for the question on this. In the comment that Sheryl made, what I believe that we were trying to say was, and what I stand behind, is what was widely reported at the time, that after January 6th.
You know, I'm sorry to interrupt, as many of my colleagues have had to do, because we only have 5 minutes. But would you say that, and would you admit that Facebook played a role?
Congresswoman, I think certainly there was content on our services, and from that perspective, I think that there's further work that we need to do to make our services and moderation more effective.
I hear that. Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Pichai a question. Many companies have used Section 230 as a shield to escape consumer protection laws. And I have a bill that would actually not protect companies that do that. And so, Mr. Pichai, would you agree that that would be a proper use to not allow liability protection for those who violate consumer protection laws?
Congresswoman, consumer protection laws are very important in many areas, like we comply with COPPA and HIPAA. I think the right approach is to have legislation in applicable areas and have us.
Okay, I'm going to have to interrupt again. Is that a yes? That if a law has been broken, a consumer protection law, that there would not be liability protection under Section 230 for you?
We rely on the liability protections to actually take strong action in particularly new types of content. When the Christchurch shooting happens, within a few minutes, our teams have to make decisions about the content to take down. That certainty is what we rely on. But I agree with you that we should have strong consumer protection laws and be subject to it, and have agencies like the FTC have clear oversight over those laws and how we comply with them.
Let me just ask a real yes or thank you, a real yes or no quickly. Do you think that when you take money to run advertisements that promote disinformation, that you are exempt from liability? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Section 230.
Mr. Zuckerberg, yes or no?
Congresswoman, I don't know the legal answer to that, but we don't allow misinformation in our ads. And any ad that's been fact-checked as false, we don't allow to run as an ad.
Okay, and Mr. Dorsey?
Again, I also would need to review the legal precedent for it, but we would not allow that.
Okay, and Mr. Pichai?
We are subject to FTC's deceptive ad practices, so there are statutes which apply to us. We removed over 3 billion bad ads last year alone.
Okay, let me ask one more question. Do you think that Section 230 should be expanded to trade agreements that are being made, as happened in the U.S. trade agreement with Mexico and Canada? Yes or no? Mr. Zuckerberg.
Congresswoman, my primary goal would be to help update Section 230 to reflect the kind of modern reality and what we've learned over 25 years. But that said, I do still think that Section 230 plays a foundational role in the development of the internet and new companies getting built. So I do think that we should support it.
I'm talking now about trade agreements. Mr. Pichai.
Congresswoman, I think there's value in it, but if there are evolution of Section 230, that should apply. And so in a flexible way, being able to do that would be good, I think.
Mr. Dorsey.
I don't fully understand the ramifications of what you're suggesting, so I have to review that.
I'm saying to have a liability shield that would be international and ratified in trade agreements, and I think it's a bad idea.
Okay, gentlelady's time has expired.
Thank you.